Welcome to the LF Monitoring webinar. I created this webinar to help you familiarize yourself with the LF monitoring process for the ESOL program. Objectives. Participants will be able to describe procedures for creating, holding, and entering a committee meeting for LF students in Elevation. Entering the information in the EL student worksheet to update mainframe. And procedures for printing EL plan and updating proficiency levels for LA students. So what is LF? LF students are students who exited the program because they were either met access criteria or because they were exited through a committee meeting. The law states that students must go through a monitoring period for 2 years in which the student is reviewed 4 times. So what is the purpose of LF and monitoring? This is to make sure that the student is succeeding in the classroom without any accommodations. At any time, if anyone in the EL team feels that language acquisition is impeding the student from a good academic progress, you can hold a committee meeting to reclassify the student and bring him back into the program as an LY. As usual, please refer to the Programmatics Handbook, pages 133 to 141 for more details. First, you need to familiarize yourself with the monitoring dates. Each year, we have a monitoring table where we tell you when the monitoring window begins. Notice the window always begins after the grading period ends, and we have a date for elementary, and we have a date for middle and high school. Ideally, you want to hold these reviews during that window. You do not want to have monitoring reviews for over 2 weeks from when the window opens. So where is the LF report? The LF report, you can get it in 2 ways. You can get it through mainframe and you ask your DP to print the 30, 10, C, or D, or you can also get it in Elevation through the student list component. I'm going to show you how to do that in Elevation. First, you want to log in into your Elevation and go to your student list. Once you're here, it's going to give you all of the students in your school. You want to select and then filter for LF. After this, you go to Fields, and you're going to remove the test ID and the composite level as you do not need this information. Now you're going to add a field and you're going to type the word first. You're going to make sure that you select the one that says post-exit monitoring. You're going to do that again for the second one. You will do that again for the third one. You will do that one more time for fourth. Notice there's only one, you choose that. And you also want the exit date. So type the word exit and choose EL program exit date and apply changes. Okay. Now you have a report of the students that you have in LF with the exit dates and the corresponding meetings. Now, if you want this in order to show up this first, second, and third, all you have to do is hover. And when you see the hand, you could just move it so that is in order. And now it is your decision whether you want to work with the elevation report or the mainframe report. So how do I monitor students? Well, to begin, you must keep in mind the timing for each review. As I stated prior, the student is monitored 4 different times within a 2-year period. I highly encourage you to take a screenshot of this image as it basically tells you the timing for each review. Remember that the review is always based on the exit date. So the first one should happen 9 weeks after the exit date. If by any chance when the reviewing period falls, and that is less than 9 weeks, then you must wait until the next reviewing window. Notice date 2 should be the complete 9-week period after exit day. It's typically 9 weeks after or more from the first review. Notice the third day has to be the first year after exit day or after. And the last time, the fourth monitoring should be the second year after exit day or thereafter. Sometimes for some reason you don't get to do the monitoring on time with the windows, and that is okay. All you have to do is catch up on the next reviewing period. So what is the process to monitor the students? First, you want to engage in a discussion with the ELA teacher and ask about the overall progress in the classroom. If everything is satisfactory, you would then hold a committee meeting in elevation called a post-exit monitoring. The name of the meeting depends on where the student is in the process. Remember to use your report to make this decision. After you put in your notes and the meeting is finalized, you're going to fill out a student plan worksheet and give it to your DP so that she can update the monitoring dates in mainframe. Notice for LF students, you do not need to print the ELL plan or the student meeting report. So how do I schedule a meeting? Well, I'm going to go to elevation again to show you how. So once I look at my report and I determine that I have 1 or more students who need this, I like to schedule it a few days prior. So basically, I will go to the student's profile. And I go to the meetings tab. And here I'm going to use this as an example that this was my first meeting. So I will look for the title first post exit. If it was the second one, then second, third, and so on. So I'm going to unclick this because I will not be performing the meeting today. I just want to put it on the calendar. And I'm going to set the meeting for, let's say, the 28th, a few days after the window, so I have time to talk to the teacher. And who is going to be in the meeting is you and the classroom teacher. And I'm going to schedule the meeting. I'm going to repeat this process for anybody that I need co-meetings for during the reviewing window. And then when the day comes, I can actually hold it. Now let's speed up a couple days and say that today is actually the 28th. I have spoken to the teacher and I have the feedback. Then you can come here, you can come back, and you will do that by coming to the search field and typing the student's ID, or you can also go through the student and student list way. Once you're here, you're going to open and perform. And again, The meeting details have not been changed, and he is an Exit student, so he does not receive any programs and services, so I do not touch that. The post-exit monitoring recommendation, you will select appropriately. In this case, the feedback with my teacher was that he's making adequate progress. The next thing I do is I'm going to add some notes. And again, I want to keep my title the same as my meeting purpose. I'm just going to write the feedback given from the teacher. Now I can either find my name or press the me to add my name to the notes. And I am going to make sure I am doing the notes the day that I planned for the meeting and save. Then I proceed to finalize. When I finalize, I make sure I select a cursive signature and I scroll down and say sign. Right? So now my meeting has been completed. I can go ahead and return to my PowerPoint. The next step in the process is to fill out an EL student plan worksheet. I will use page 136 in the programmatic handbook for guidance, but basically you will enter line 13, as you can see here, and you're going to put the date that you held the meeting. So remember, A is for the first meeting, B is for the second review, C is for the third review, and D is for the fourth review. I added the exit day just for reference for you to see that between this day and the first review, we had more than 9 weeks of time for the review. And you're going to repeat that 3 more times according to the appropriate timing. So what happens after the 4 meeting? You're going to schedule and perform the 4th post-exit monitoring meeting in elevation. And in addition, you're going to add the following verbiage. The student has completed the 2-year post-reclassification monitoring period and will classify from LF to LA. You're going to finalize the meeting and you're going to create a ELL student worksheet plan and give it to the DP. After everything has been updated in mainframe, the next day you can go to elevation, and if the information has been updated, you can print an ELL plan and update the blue folder. So let's see how the EL student worksheet looks like when it's filled out. For this, you're going to follow page 137 in the programmatic handbook, and the changes are highlighted for you in yellow. Data element 2 is going to be changed from LF to LA, and you're going to add the 4th reviewing date. Notice how we have all of the dates from the prior monitorings, and they coincide with the appropriate timings. When you get to the 4th monitoring, this is the only time when you print an EL plan. So what do I do if a monitoring is not satisfactory? Well, according to a programmatics, you have 3 options. The first one, you can continue to monitor, but this time you're going to hold a committee meeting in which you're going to invite the parent and your EL chair. The committee can agree that you're just going to continue to monitor. You're going to give the student a little bit more time to see if his academics improve. For more details, you're going to go to page 139 in the programmatic handbook. The second option is to, again, hold a committee meeting in which you invite the parent and the EL chair, and you will use data to say that you would like to send this case to the MTSS or RTI team. And for more questions, you may contact your ESC specialist. For more details, you want to refer to page 140 in the programmatic handbook. And your third option would be to create a committee meeting, again, where you invite the parent. And this time, you will give 2 measurable academic reasons in why you believe that he needs to come back to the program. For more details, you're going to go to page 141 in the programmatic handbook. But ultimately, if you are in doubt or have a question, feel free to reach out to Veronica or myself for guidance. So what happens after the LA status? Well, a student will remain LA for 2 years. It is highly advisable that at the end of each grading period or every time you have the LF monitoring period, you print the LA roster, which is Form 3010I. This report will give you the dates when they turned LA. You can see who has completed their LA status, and after 2 years, you're going to take an ELL student plan worksheet and enter data element 2. You're going to change that to LZ. You're going to give that to the data processor, and she's going to update the information in mainframe. All you have to do is just go to the blue folder, and in the front, you're going to change that from LA to LZ. When you do this change, there is no need to do any changes in elevation, and there is no need to hold meetings or print any student plans. This could truly be the end of the ESOL compliance part for that student. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and Veronica for further assistance. Thank you for watching this webinar, and I hope you find it useful.